Hi, I'm Ross Trolin, and today I will be analyzing the time period in literature from 1830 to 1850, or the Transcendentalism movement. First off, what is Transcendentalism? Well, Transcendentalism is the philosophy that spirituality is more important than reality. It was a religious and philosophical movement in the 19th century. Transcendentalists believe that society and its institutions corrupt society. Now that we know what Transcendentalism is, let's look at some key events from the time period when the movement took place. First off, we have the Seneca Falls Gender Equality Convention, which was the first women's rights convention in America. It was held at Seneca Falls in 1848. Prior to this was the Second Great Awakening. During the Second Great Awakening, the Protestant Reformation took place, and this was during the early to late 1800s. Charles Darwin would also explore the Galapagos during the Transcendentalism movement, and the telegraph would be used for the first time. Lastly, the American Temperance Society would form. Now let's look at the key issues that would arise as a result from those main events during the Transcendentalism movement. Women struggled a lot with their role in society, and the Seneca Falls Convention was a result of this. People were also torn over the issue of alcohol and felt the need to fight against it for the first time in history and form temperance societies. Charles Darwin's visit to the Galapagos and the Protestant Reformation would challenge religious views and bring about new ideas such as evolution. Not much happened economically during this time period besides the battle between Andrew Jackson and the Bank of the U.S. Next, we'll look at the primary and secondary literary figures from the Transcendentalism movement. The primary figures were Ralph Waldo Emerson, Henry David Thoreau, and Margaret Fuller. The secondary literary figures were Edgar Allan Poe, Charles Dickens, Joseph Smith, and Hans Christian Andersen. Henry David Thoreau and Ralph Waldo Emerson in particular created two great literary works. Nature was an essay written by Ralph Waldo Emerson. The essay Nature laid down the foundation for Transcendentalism and almost created the idea of Transcendentalism. Nature showed people's change in views and their newfound attachment to nature and the idea that all humans will do the right thing naturally. Walden was a novel written by Henry David Thoreau. Although it was a novel, Walden also heavily expressed Transcendentalist ideas. Walden mainly focused on nature and how humans are connected to nature and discovering one's spirit and inner beauty. What concerns did these novels display? Well, Nature and Walden showed that people were scared of becoming out of touch with themselves and losing what it meant to be a human being. These two works of art displayed how to refine and reconnect with yourself and those around you. Themes shown in Transcendentalist works of literature include Romanticism, nationalism, self-wisdom, nature, the idea that people are born inherently good, and mortality. It's also important to note how the historical context directly affected Transcendentalist literature. Charles Darwin's expeditions created a greater sense of scientific achievement and individuality and self-knowledge. The telegraph made it easier to spread new ideas. The Second Great Awakening created new meaning in religion, and the women's suffrage movement greatly influenced Margaret Fuller's work. And last but not least, we'll look at the genres and styles mainly used in Transcendentalist literature. Romanticism, poems, free verse, short stories, and essays mainly made up literature from the Transcendentalist time period. Thanks for watching, and I hope this PowerPoint helped.